Hello everybody, hope you're having a wonderful day today. This is piggybacking off of the recent video that I made about how to transpose a chord chart using this transposition sheet like this, relating it to the circle of fifths. So it can be very difficult sometimes when it comes to a chord chart, because I call them good luck charts, because if you don't know the melody line, if you don't know the rhythm, if you don't know how the song goes and you're just looking at this, basically good luck. It gives you enough information to play the song, but it's missing other components such as rhythm, melody line, key signature, etc. It's a truncated version of a larger piece or a song. It gives you enough information if you kind of know what to do with it and you have experience with it, but then it just leaves out some information that could really help you. So what do we do with these chord charts when we want to change the key to either suit our voices or just make the chords a little bit more accessible? Well, we can transpose these, thus changing the chords played. So we can transpose it to a different key, and then we can actually change the chords, thus just making it more comfortable to sing or comfortable to play. So in this video, I'm going to relate the circle of fifths to this chord transposition chart and see how they're similar. 2, we'll transpose an easy chart. I'll give you the starting key, I'll walk you through the process. 3, go over a harder chart that has some twists and some turns to give you some more practice. And 4, we're going to analyze a chart together where the key is not given, and we'll figure it out together. I'll walk you through it because, like I said, most chord charts don't give you the key signature, and so it's really hard to find your starting point. In order to find out, okay, how do you change it, you have to know where you're starting in order to know where you want to go. So let's try a couple of things together and hopefully it'll make more sense. Let's start by defining what the circle of fifths is. In music theory, the circle of fifths is a way of organizing 12 chromatic pitches as a sequence of perfect fifths. If C is chosen as the starting point, the sequence is C, G, D, A, E, B, F sharp, C sharp, A flat, E flat, B flat, F. And as you can see, there's some overlap. Some notes have 2 names, long story short. Now, it's called the circle of fifths because each pitch is a perfect fifth apart. So that's 7 semitones or 7 half steps. And I relate this to the tune Twinkle Twinkle Little Star when I'm having my students just kind of ear train and recognize like, oh, that's a perfect fifth. And so from a C note to a G note, we have you hear that? Twinkle, twinkle, little star. So if I have this on the ukulele, I start here on the C and I travel 7 semitones or 7 frets up, and you're going to have a G. I've traveled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Twinkle, twinkle. And so basically, these notes in the wheel, they are 7 semitones apart, or a perfect fifth apart, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Now, if I were going to go from G to D, you would hear Twinkle Twinkle Little Star as well. Yep, 7 semitones apart. And then also it would be the same from D to A. And so it keeps going on and on and on and on and on. And then once you eventually get to F, from F to C, it's Twinkle Twinkle Little Star apart. It is a perfect fifth. So it just keeps going and going and going. And that's why it's called the circle of fifths, because it just keeps going. It's cyclical. The transposition chart has the circle of fifths on the furthest left-hand side. Once you get to the C sharp, it flips to the other side of the circle. The transposition table gives you all of the major scales, which is Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do, all of the major scales. Now add the Roman numerals at the top. Make the 2nd, 3rd, and 6th chords in those positions, make those minors. And the chord in the 7th position, a diminished chord, and you get something called a diatonic pattern. Now the notes of the scale become the pattern of the chords, or the sequence of the chords based around the natural scale, the Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. So if I have my C scale, I'm going to relate this to the chord chart here. Here's just the individual notes. I'm going to be playing a C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now I'm going to play the chords in a sequence. So instead of a C note, I'm going to play a C chord. Instead of a D note, I'm going to play a D minor. Instead of an E note, I'm going to play an E minor, and etc. and so on. And you're going to hear how they sound like they all fit together. So here's my C chord, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, B diminished, C. This is all essential information to know. However, the transposition chart just helps you look at things in a different way so that you can actually see the chords in a sequence, thus making it maybe a little bit easier to look at when you're trying to transpose a song. Committing these things to memory is only going to serve you and make you a stronger musician and player. Google activities and ways to memorize the circle of fifths, the order of sharps, the order of flats. And trust me, I think daily in my mind, my piano teacher and my flute teacher just drilling scales into me. And I hated it. It wasn't the most fun thing, but it really taught me the foundations of music. And I'm able to do what I do today because of them, because they helped me lay that strong foundation. So I would kiss their feet right now if I could. Now we're going to transpose a chart together. I have my laptop. It's doing a screen recording right now so that you can see what I see, and then we can try to relate this to the transposition chart. We're going to start with Amazing Grace. It is in the key of C, so it's a great starting point. So the chords that we have are a C that I see thus far, F, A minor, G. So if I take this, I'm just going to highlight it just so that you can see. Let's use orange. What do you think? Use an orange right here. Let's say that we want to transpose this to the key of G, which is right underneath it. So if we change it to G, and let's relate it to that chord chart here. So here's the starting key, and here's the key that I want. I find the first chord, which is C, and I look right underneath it, and it's a G. Same thing over here. Same thing over here. Oh, we have an F, so I'm going to take a look at that chart right underneath it, because there's G, here's F, there we have a C, and we know from right here we have back to C, so that's G, A minor, so let's look for it, run our finger across, find the A minor in the C diatonic pattern, here's the G diatonic pattern, right underneath it, there's an E minor. There's another A minor, so there's E minor. Now G, same thing, find our G chord in our C diatonic pattern. Right underneath it is a D. Okay. Oh, it's in 3/4, Katie. So this is the original key, C. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Now the transposed key, amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Now, was that key easier for me to sing? No, it's not, but I'm just using that as an example. Keep in mind, I have all of this memorized. I have the circle of fifths memorized, as well as this chord chart as well. And when I'm transposing, I'm not using the grid. It's all in here. But it did take time to memorize. It is possible to memorize, and it's such a great thing to know. Can't emphasize that enough. Let's try another song in the key of C, but this one has kind of a funky twist. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 from the plain white T's, and I only took the chorus chords because that's the only thing that's a little funky. And when you have the diatonic pattern, when you have the 1, 4, 5 chords are major, 2, 3, and 6 are minors, and then you have the 7th position, which is a diminished chord, those are some great guidelines. But as you know, as in music, anything goes. You can flip things around. You could make something that's supposed to be major in that pattern and flip it to a minor. Or you could take something that's minor and flip it to a major, and it just kind of makes you perk up and go, oh, well, that's different. That's cool. And that's exactly what's happening here in this chart. And this is what the song sounds like. It's too low for me to sing. There's only one thing to do, 3 words for you. I love you. That doesn't work for me. So this song is in the key of C, and let's transpose it to the key of A for something different. So first I find my C chord pattern. It's right up top, and then I'm going to find A. So I look all the way to the left to the first chord position, and I'm going to run my finger down and find A. So now I see that every single C is now going to be an A. All right, I find my G chord in my C row. I find my A row. I see where the 2 meet. All right, that's going to be an E. A minor, so I run my finger across to the A minor, the C chord row. Where does A and the 6th position, right here, 6th chord, F sharp minor. All right, now we have this one. Let's do that again. Up, back to a G, we know that, that's an E. This one's going to be a D, F. Run my fingers across, there's F. Oh, that's D. Oh, now look at this. Wait a minute. I'm looking at this chart and it says, okay, F minor, what do we do? Well, what happens is that anytime that you have something that changes here, it's like, yes, there's an F, but there's no F minor. So that means that that new chord that we transpose to, that is going to be a minor as well. So for example, if this were like an F7, like a dominant 7, that would be a 7th. If it were a minor 7th here, you would change it to a minor 7th here. If it's an F9, for example, you would change the new one to an F9. So you see, like anything that happens here in the original, you would do that to the new key. Even though it's technically not in the pattern, it's something where you're changing something for musical interest. And that's just what makes music art. That's the only way I can explain it. So anything that happens here in the original, you're going to do that to the new key as well. And then we know that C is an A because that's our 1 chord. Okay, so this is the original key. There's only one thing. I can't even sing it. It's so low. There's only one thing to do. What about up the octave? There's only one thing to do. 3 words for you. I love you. Not my favorite. Okay, new key. There's only one thing to do. 3 words for you. I love you. Wow, way better. Now what I could have done is just play it in the key of C, taken my handy dandy capo. Where'd my handy dandy capo go? Oh, it's right here. Goodness. Could have done that. even just a little too low for me. The problem is sometimes when you have your capo and you bring it all the way up here and it's the key that's comfortable for you, your hands are just going to be so cramped up here on the ukulele or the guitar, and it just maybe sound a little weird. This is something that can eliminate the capo, make the chords more accessible or the key more accessible to sing, and possibly free your hands up from just using the capo. So the last two exercises, I gave you the key. I told you that it was in the key of C. That's our starting point. One subscriber, they commented in my video, in my transposition video, but how do I know where's my starting key? Because I have all of these funky chords and I can't figure it out. So I'm going to try to walk this through what key is this song in, and sometimes it takes a process of elimination because some chords, some patterns, they share the same chords, but there is a better choice. And then we can find the root note, we can find our key and our starting point, and then we can transpose from there. So another live that I did on a song called 5 Minutes at a Time, and I think this would be a great example. I'm not going to give you the key. We're just going to analyze this just with the information that we have, because like I said before, these are called good luck charts. It's just basically good luck. Okay, what chords do we have here? We have a B flat, F, G minor, E flat, and a C minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just laid it out here for you, okay? Most of the time, you won't get this. Unfortunately, you'll get stuff like this. With just the chords, I took the lyrics out so that we don't have to pay attention to that. We're just focusing on transposing right now. So we have a B flat, F, G minor, F. Sometimes a good starting point is that some songs, I'd say a lot of songs, they start on the first chord. Not always, but that's always a good place to start. So let's take a look at the one position. We have a B flat. Now let's compare notes. C minor, second position. Is there a C minor? Yep. D minor? No. E flat? Yes. F? Yes. G minor? Yes. B flat? Yep, again. So, right there, F, that works. That works. Okay, let's take a look at the chorus. Are there any other outliers that I see? No, B flat looks good. Now, this could also be a bit confusing because if you look underneath it, you have E flat and B flat. They share a lot of chords. I mean, they share a B flat. They share a G minor. They share an E flat, of course. They also share a C minor, but the one thing that stands out is that. And I talked about like the funky chords before in the second example. Look for the one that is consistent. So the F is consistent here, F, 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 F. I don't see any F minors. So, interesting. So I would say the better choice is B flat. That would be the better choice. All right, let's try It's Time by Imagine Dragons. So this is just the first part of the verse. You repeat that over and over again. And here's the chorus right here. Our first part of the chorus. We have enough information to be able to try to find the key. So first we have a D, A, B minor, G. I also see a D, B minor, E minor, G. It also really helps that if you write these out, I'm like, okay, I see a D, an A B minor, a G, and an E minor. So if you just write it out, then you're kind of not, you're just basically eliminating all the other information, and then you're just concentrating on the chords that are on the chart. So I take a look at my chart here, and a good place to start is the one chord. Not always, but we're going to take a look at the one chord. And I see that there's a D. Now I'm going to run my finger across, and I'm going to see if the chords are consistent. So we have D. There's an A. B minor, that works. G, that works. And an E minor. Ooh, nice. Hey, I think we have a winner. Now let's compare this to the one above it, which is the key of G, because they do share some chords. I mean, one is going to be the better answer though. This key of G does have a D, a B minor, a G, an E minor, but here's the one that stands out. Ta-da! It's the A. In the key of G, or the pattern of G, we have an A minor. For D, we have an A. So D, in my opinion, this is going to be the better choice. Sometimes you have to do some process of elimination. Also, even if you look at the key of C above it, it shares a G, it shares an E minor, but the outliers are going to be the B minor and the A and the D. So you can kind of see which one is going to be the better choice. Are you always going to be right? Nope, sometimes it's process of elimination. But that's precisely why I call it a good luck chart, because it only gives you so much information. Sometimes you have to do some process of elimination, some trial and error to find the correct key. Now, so far we've talked about songs that start with a major chord. Let's talk about something with a minor chord. I want to show you something. So in the circle of fifths, in that inner circle, that is something called the relative minor. And so you have your major and your relative minor. Transferring that over to the transposition chord chart thing, in the sixth position, that is going to be your relative minor. So like I've said, when we try to find the key, if you look at the very starting chord, that's a really good place to start. Is it always going to be the place where where it's going to indicate what chord or what key you're in? No, it's not. But it's going to help just basically with the process of elimination a little bit faster. Now, if you have a minor chord, if there's a song that starts with a minor chord, a great place to start is the sixth position, because that is the relative minor. Okay, so let's take a look at this. We have an A minor. This is Riptide, Vance Joy, which is a very, very popular ukulele song. And we have A minor. So let's take a look at this chart. So let's count. We have Roman numeral 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to run our finger down and see if we can find the A minor. And luckily, it is not too far away. There's A minor right there. And so then let's find the first position, key of C. Now let's take a look at the chords that we have. I'm going to list them out. There's an A minor, there's a G, a C, and an F. Let's compare it. There's an A minor, a G, a C, and an F, and not much else. So using my process of elimination, I think that this is the key of C. So let's look at another group of chords right here taken from a chord chart. Again, I eliminated the words because I didn't want them to be distracting. So we have C sharp minor, A, E, and B. Here's another E, F sharp minor, A. Okay, so a good place to start when a song starts with a minor is the sixth position. So I'm going to start from the top, find my sixth position, and I'm going to run my finger down, and I'm going to see if I can find that C sharp minor, and I have. I'm going to find the first position, and it says key of E. Let's try that first. So we have key of E. Let's see if this is consistent. E, yes. F sharp minor, yes. We have an A, a B, yes, and a C sharp minor. Now there are some other keys around it that do share some similar chords, like the key of A, but the main outlier is going to be one of those chords. So what's the difference between those two? Let's take a look. So A has a B minor. Key of E has a B natural. So it's a B major chord, not a B minor chord. That's the biggest outlier right there. So I would say that E, the key of E, is going to be my better choice. So I've said this before, your starting chord is a good place to start for your one position. And if it starts in a minor, the sixth position is a really good place to start. Is that always the case? There are some songs that start with a minor 2 chord, a minor 3 chord. There are some songs that start with a 4 chord or a 5 chord. And basically what you have to do is you have to play music detective write out the chords, which I like to do with my students, is just have them, okay, let's pick out the information from this chord chart without the words, without the counts, without the whatever, write it up top, and then compare it to that transposition chart and see if you can find the key. The more and more you do this, the more and more you expose yourself to music and transpose, the easier it becomes because you start recognizing patterns. You start seeing patterns. It does come with time and it does come with practice. So as you're working through this, I hope that this chart helped you, that this method helped you. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.